The stovepipe. I mean, what more can I say? I don't know if this is the most controversial knife of 2022. I don't know if it's Spyderco's most exciting release of this year, but I certainly have heard quite a bit about this knife ever since it was revealed maybe a month or two ago. And I couldn't resist picking one up. I saw the design and, I wasn't really maybe that, excited about it. I mean, it's definitely unique. It definitely has a unique appearance, but it's a titanium frame lock in 20 CV made by Spyderco, which, I guess thinking about the other models isn't very common, but in the realm of all the knife makers, all the products out there, this is pretty common. We have a lot of titanium frame locks with a high-end super steel coming out of China, coming out of Taiwan, coming out of the United States, whatever. And it just didn't really get me that excited. So you have this blade, which is about 2.8 inches or so. This is I don't remember the guy's first name. Dave Ridebaum, I think is his name, but this is his design. So his is called the Butcher, which I guess Spyderco chose not to use that name because it's controversial or whatever. I don't necessarily agree, but they called it the Stovepipe because of how it kind of looks like a top hat, I guess. So anyway, it's the Spyderco Stovepipe, and it has this pivot, which is unique to this, and it also has this clip, which is unique to this knife. And the pivot doubles as an over travel stop for the lock bar, which is nice. Yeah, so I wasn't really that excited about this. I figured maybe if I saw one for a decent price, I'd pick it up. But I wasn't going to go run out and pre-order it or anything like that. So, you're probably asking, how did I end up with this? I found out that Lauren is actually, she can get the Spyderco Op Focus discount because she's a nurse practitioner. And I saw that they had these in stock on their website. So yeah, that kind of pushed me over the edge. It's a good price. I mean, you're paying MSRP minus the discount, but it's still a lot better than what you would pay in a retailer like MAP price. So that's how I ended up with it. I've had it maybe 2 weeks now, and being honest, I actually like it a lot more than I thought I would. So the size, I know the size has been a big topic of discussion. As you can see here, it's about 3 inches long. I mean, it's not a super long knife, and it is kind of wide because of this, I don't know, it's almost like a rhino horn in a way, but it carries pretty well in the pocket. It's not super heavy, even though the blade stock is really thick. So you can kind of see there. I think it's like maybe 0.150 inches. And then the titanium is pretty thick as well. But because it's not very long or not very big, it still carries pretty nicely in the pocket. This would be one of those knives I would give maybe a 7 or an 8 for carry on a scale that I used to use a lot more than I do now. The clip, I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, it does work well, but it leaves, a decent amount of the knife sticking out of your pocket. It works okay though. The biggest thing that I like about this knife is the blade. So you can see here, it's a cleaver style blade. Let's see if it'll focus. But the edge is very, very straight. I mean, it's essentially perfectly straight. And it's very thick down at the top, even at the tip here. Let's see if I can kind of show it. So the tip itself is thick, which makes it really, really handy for using, to open boxes or packages or anything like that. It really is a good cutter. The stock is thick. I don't know, I've said that 3 or 4 times, I guess, but it's a pretty good cutter because down here by the edge, it is a hollow grind. Let's see if we can pick it up. Yeah, so it is a hollow grind. So even though the stock thickness is pretty high, it's still a hollow grind, so it cuts really nicely. You know, Spyderco Tai Chung quality is fantastic as always. You can see the centering here. I mean, it's pretty much perfectly centered. You can Spidey flick it. It's a little bit harder because it's short, but you can. I mean, there's no blade play, lock rock, anything like that. I think it's just going to be one of those Spydercos that's a really well-loved model down the road. I think people are kind of torn about it now. I think it's been a popular model. I think people have wanted to pick it up just to see what it's like. But I think down the road, it's going to be more, it's going to be like the Schließ buoy maybe, or I'm trying to think of another one, like the Techno, which I guess is still in production. I'm trying to think of ones that are out of production that have just skyrocketed in price. But yeah, I would recommend picking one of these up. You know, I think it's 420 bucks matte price. That's a lot of money. I mean, you're looking at almost Chris Reeve money there. You're looking at, you know, a lot of different Rayot knives, which are also very nice. Tor knives is kind of an up and comer on the folding market. They have all American made components, which is cool. But you know, even though this is made outside the States, I still maintain that Spyderco's Tai Chung factory is their best one. You know, anybody who wants to argue with me on that, I'm still going to keep my position. I think there's a lot of good reasons for that, and a lot of evidence for that. And yeah, it's just a really well-made knife. It's pretty faithful to Dave's design, and you know, it is a good cutter. It's very stout. It's not gonna snap in your hand. It's not gonna fold under pressure. I mean, the lock is very secure. You know, it's very smooth, and it's very well made. So, you know, if you like the design of this and you have the money for it, I would highly suggest picking one of these up, maybe on the secondary market, if you're not a fan of the $420 price. But yeah, I would highly suggest checking one out. I mean, especially if you're a fan of Spyderco's titanium frame lock knives from Taiwan, definitely check this out. So anyway, those are just some thoughts on the Stovepipe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. We'll be doing more videos like this, and like I said in my Strider video, probably mixing it up a little bit just to give the channel a little bit of variety. But just want to give my thoughts. This one seems to be a popular one that people are talking about now. So anyway, have a good rest of the week, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.